Hey guys, this is DT Gaming. So we're going to review a trailer from the new game called The Wild the Angler. Now we are watching this through another YouTuber by Ragnar Gaming. Now the reason why I'm actually watching his video because he brought up some things about the game based on the trailer. So let's watch the trailer first and we'll go from there.
What is it about your hobby that keeps you coming all the way out here? Is it the freedom? Wandering in search of that perfect spot? You've made your own path through these hills. Tasted the fresh water of our lakes, our rivers. You've been on the water with friends at sunrise and helped the locals long past sunset. But you just keep coming back. At this spot, you got a pretty good idea what's lurking beneath the surface. But there's only one way to find out. Whether it's the one you write home about or the one that gets away, that feeling is what gets you hooked. That whether it's your first time or your 100th time, you never know what you're gonna catch until it's caught. Call of the Wild, the Angler.
On Steam and Epic Games. Also, later on down the road, it will be released on the major consoles as well.
So the first map is going to be called Golden Lakes Reserve, and it's going to be a North American map. We do not know if there's going to be a second map at release. Now, initially, I was going to rag all over this trailer. However, I decided against it. I will give you some of my concerns. To start off with, I'm going to mention some of the things that I noticed that I am not a fan of. Number one, we are getting an open world map. That might sound silly. Why would somebody not want an open world fishing map? The thing is that the entire map is going to be 64 square kilometers, but the playable area is only going to be 24. So we're going to have to walk around 2/3 of the map essentially to open it up, meaning that 2/3 of the map have actually got nothing to do with the game. They might be involved in story missions, but at the end of the day, we're coming for a fishing game. We're not coming to walk around and open up a map that's got nothing to do with the whole thing that we're going for, because you're only going to play the story once. You're not going to play it again and again. So within, let's say, maximum a week, you've already done the story, and then you've got 2/3 of a map that you can do nothing with. The other thing that I
Okay, so it seems he's okay with it being open world. The one thing he don't like the fact that you're gonna have to um walk or travel to different water bodies, which is saying that there's like about 64 kilometers of the map, and you'd be able to fish about 24 of that. So to me, that it sounds like he doesn't like the fact that you have to travel, but they do got the option where you can use vehicles. Probably most likely it's going to be quad bikes, and we've seen in the trailer that there's trucks, so there's going to be transportation with some type of vehicle. They're not always going to be by foot. Now, of course, that walking would be more natural for going to like into like rivers and streams and stuff. If you think about it, but to me, it's real life. I mean, you're not gonna sit there in fast travel to a water body instantly. Like Fishing Planet, you just go to a map and you just select where you want to fish and you're there. Uh, on this game, it seems that you just have to travel there. Maybe once you get there, that you can unlock a fast travel option. Who's know? But this is going to be an online game, so I can I cannot picture that is going to be the case. However, there are outlooks as in the game. You see the trailer that they show an outlook in it, and we know outlooks are basically fast travel points in a hunter call the wild. But anyways, I really don't see an issue with that. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think that the open world concept of this game is kind of ridiculous, because like I said, you only got about 20 to 30% of water in the game, and the rest is all land. Is that a problem to you guys?
I don't like is that their character movement, because apparently you will have third person and first person views. Their third person movement is seriously janky. I'm not a fan of it. Also, if you know,
Okay, so another thing he pointed out that the character's movement walking, he don't like it. Of course, do we actually play game based on the character's movement? I don't think so. I mean, what does it matter if your character is walking bull-legged or skipping or jumping, hopping, whatever they're doing? It's the way the game is. I mean, I'm not gonna judge the game based on movement. I mean, I'd rather able to move at a nice pace, but not like really slow. But I think that's just kind of silly if you think about it. That you're going to complain how a character moves. To me, I think it's silly. But what do you guys think?
notice over here where the waterfall is, the water is not actually falling.
Okay, so another thing he pointed out right here. Okay, so he said that the water fall back there. It don't will look realistic. I'll agree. And he said the water is not falling; it's basically on standstill. Now, you could see the trees are really hard to make out. I mean, the details are hard. This little tiny building down here is hard to see the little trees. Now, this is based on distance. You're looking at this from afar, and most likely that you're probably using binoculars. This kind of reminds me of the Hunter classic when you're using binoculars and you're trying to spot an animal from far with with far sight. You get the exact same type of graphics. Now, I'm pretty sure that ain't gonna be like this in the final release. I'm pretty sure the water physics are going to be proper, and most likely the details for the trees will be a lot better. You don't even see the grass or anything. It's hard to make out because again, distance. And back here, you can see the waterfall also not moving. However, I can see right here, there's a little misting going on up here on the waterfall. So that's proper with the waterfalls. When water is moving, the water is going to mist because of off the um off the waterfall there. Anyways, let's continue watching this, see what more he has to say.
Is not actually falling, meaning that they have not got their water dynamics right. And being a fishing game, you kind of need good water dynamics. So them not having that is just going to break the immersion. The models are not.
Okay, so you're saying something about the water physics and the dynamics isn't right. So what I think is that this is being um used in developer mode, which basically the the graphics of the water and the currents and the physics probably isn't proper because of it being in developer mode. Developer mode allows developers to work at a quicker pace instead of using like high quality detail. Um, I think it's not going to be in the final. I think the final version is going to be really good. I mean, people don't complain about Call of the Wild, the Hunter. That game has excellent graphics. I mean, I played it. I like it. I like the graphics of it. Um, but so far, this trailer is okay so far on here. So let's continue.
Not fantastic. They are the most mediocre fish models I've seen. And then, what is this chap doing over here? How's he holding this fish? To be completely honest, if they can't even get the basics right, I don't have a lot of hope for it. Now,
Okay, now another thing he's pointing out here. Mute this for a moment. Okay, so he's saying that the models of the fish uh don't look that great. Um, let's look at this pike for example. Okay, we see the eyes. That's correct. The gills and the details around the gills are correct. The underneath the chin here is correct. The teeth is correct. The mouth is correct. The beak is correct. Now the fins. The fins that kind of look like really thick and meaty. I think that they could maybe thin the fins out. It kind of look like it's kind of boxed to me. But everything on this model looks pretty decent. But as for the fins, I think this should redo them at least. At least give us some type of detail underneath here. Because when you look at a fish, for example, I'm gonna bring up a fish anyways. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so this is a picture of a real pike. Now, let's see here. As we mentioned about the gills and the eyes, everything looks correct based on this. The color, maybe it could be a little bit different than this. Maybe it's the lighting, but they did pretty good with the gills. I can see right here, and the fins. You know what? They kind of look actually. The fins could be a little more skinny, as I said. Here, they look too thick to me. I just gotta thin them out. But that model looks decent. I don't see nothing wrong with it. So let's check out what he's talking about the bluegill here.
the models are not fantastic. They are the
Okay, now the bluegill, the fins should be more translucent and see-through. Now we think about a bluegill, right? This is the bluegill that I caught. If you see, the fins are more translucent and see-through here. It's more thin, and the side fin right here should be almost transparent. But as you see right here, the fin is not transparent. I mean, the fins look good, but it should be transparent as if it was a real fish. However, I know they probably can't achieve this without some type of takeaways. But as for the fin here, that right here should be translucent in that. But the bluegill is proper. Okay, another thing I want to point out. You see how I'm holding the bluegill? I'm actually got it cupped in my hand like this. Because if you notice that the bluegill, the fins are small. You can't put your finger in between the gills like you do with a bass or something. Or hold it by the mouth. Now, in this video, how is this guy holding the fish? Right?
most mediocre fish models I've seen. And then, what is this chap doing over here? How's he?
Okay. Like, I kind of agree with this. How is he holding the fish? I mean, you can't hold the fish, this type of fish, by the gills this way. It's impossible. And you can't hold it by the mouth because the mouth is too small. It's just unrealistic. Come on. I mean, I agree. They got to do better. With the bluegill, at least hold it properly in your hands. At least give it some type of realism.
holding this fish. To be completely honest, if they can't even get the basics right, I don't have a lot of hope for it. Now for the positives and the semi-positives. Very first thing is that we will be getting multiplayer and crossplay. Now it has been confirmed on their live stream that the multiplayer will be.
Okay, so I actually like this. The sunset or sunrise. This is actually pretty nice, and you can see the silhouettes and stuff of the trees. This looks, to me, it looks beautiful. What do you guys think of this scene right here?
The conventional multiplayer, as in between consoles and PC, which is vastly different to the hunting game, which is a good thing for those that enjoy multiplayer. We're getting a 4x4, we are getting boats, both of which are good things. Fishing will also have two options, standard bait and your lures, which they claim will have a vast variety. We'll have to see how vast it is. The species of fish we're going to be getting: largemouth bass, golden trout, channel catfish, rainbow trout, whitefish, pike, and perch.
Okay, another thing I want to look at here. They're showing like the fishes here, right? I'm gonna actually step back a minute. Okay, so this is basically being looked at on Steam of what the fish actually looks like. 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. My dog was trying to bark, and I had to need to pause the video for a moment. Anyways, this is basically looked on Steam. This is what the fish actually looks like. Now I don't like how the fish actually looks based on this little slideshow here with the fish. Hopefully that the fish don't look like this in the game. I mean, it's gonna look really horrible otherwise.
Bass, golden trout, channel
The pike,
catfish, rainbow trout.
the perch, this don't look proper either. I mean, it's too bright for one thing, but I'm pretty sure that these are just probably what it looks like, but not gonna look like that. I hope not.
Trout, whitefish, pike, and perch. If the trailer is to be believed, we're also going to be getting bluegill, what looks like bluegill to me. One of the main positives, which seriously concerned me in the beginning, was that by developing this game, they're going to be taking resources away from the hunting game, which needs all the help it can get, let's be honest. And they've confirmed that that is not going to be the case. So with them not taking resources away from the game, and in fact getting new employees, and hopefully these guys know what they're doing, and then they can actually help the hunting game come right a bit. But to be honest, having a look at the trailer, the graphics are exactly the same. So I really don't know. One of the other things that they brought up is that we are getting a medal system for the fish. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess for people that are not truly into fishing, it might be important, but it's very arcadey. And I can't say I'm finding it a positive or a negative. It's just something that's there, and it will probably end up annoying me at the end of the day. And then we've also got the fact that the fish are going to have to spawn in when you're fishing, and with them being underwater, you're not going to be able to see the fish, which means that it's going to be a game of luck, not really changing anything from a standard fishing game. However, if you know that there's going to be a diamond bluegill, for example, and you want to go after that bluegill, it's going to be all up to luck, honestly. You cannot target a diamond, won't even know if there's a diamond in that exact area, which I do not see this game enticing people to continue fishing and to continue playing it if they know that there's a diamond there, because you don't know where the diamond is. Things that will not be in the game currently are saltwater fishing. The other thing that will not be in the game currently are rare fish, meaning...
Okay, so I understand that there's not going to be no saltwater fish in the game. Now, question is, we don't know exactly if it will be later on in the future with other revenues, like different maps. I mean, we're looking at Call of the Wild, the Hunter. We'll see a lot of DLCs coming out, and they're adding all kinds of different maps that has different animals and stuff. even the crocodiles and stuff like that. I mean, we're not going to see saltwater fish in that game, but there's a possibility that we'll see more and more fish as more maps get added. So technically, we just have to wait to see what happens, right?
Unique coloration, and then finally they are not going to be trophy lodges at release. They are going to allow trophy shots essentially, but they are not going to be trophy lodges, which I think is going to be a point of contention. I don't know why they do not just allow.
Okay, another thing I want to point out. Close. This thing broke. My dog. I don't know what happened. It just broke. I'm getting a new not a microphone. I'm basically getting a new headphones. Period. So without the mic, so I got the mic right here, so don't need that. Anyways, he's pointing out that there's no gonna be no trophy lodges or anything like that, or aquariums, anything. So you can't mount your fish or anything. However, there was an issue like that before that I read or heard about the hunter called the wild, that there was no lodges at first until later on down the road. So maybe later on in this game that they'll consider adding like lodges and stuff for people to display or mount their fish. I mean, you can take pictures and release basically it's all. This game is basically catch and release only, so we don't know how that's gonna work. But I mean, I would like to actually catch a fish and keep it. I mean, it's in a game, of course. I mean, who wouldn't? Anyways, let's continue watching.
Allow the trophies to be put into our existing hunting lodges, because I mean the trophy lodges that we've already got are essentially a DLC. I'm sure there must be a way to be able to utilize our existing trophy lodges, but that does not seem to be the case, and I can see a lot of the community will not be happy about that. And once again, Call of the Wild obviously says if that's something you want, let us know, but we've been speaking about things we want for ages and we've let them know and we never get it. So yeah, that's one thing that you need to be aware of. In closing, I can't say I'm excited about the game. There's nothing that has got me wanting to play the game. If it comes out, I might get it just to test it out and see if I'm right or wrong about my opinion, but I do not see me playing this game for nearly 100th of the time that I have played Call of the Wild, and that became monotonous eventually. So personally, I do not see me playing this game for more than 5 hours and then binning it. But that's my opinion. Let me know.
Okay, so he claims that he's going to get the game to test out, see if he's right or wrong about it. But he thinks he's not gonna play it no more than 5 hours at the most. Okay, if you're gonna get the game, why spend all that money on the game if you're just gonna play for 5 hours? I mean, what's the point? Um, so that is the end of this video here. However, I still want to show you guys something that he did not talk about, which I will. Okay, so this website right here is actually pretty good information we need to look at here. This is about the systematic spawning approach. This was updated or posted July 20th of this year. So let's look at something here. This is from the author. As a technical designer, it's my job to work closely with both designers and programmers to design, test, and improve different solutions to problems we have, and know how many of our different systems work together. I'm also responsible for creating and improving the scripting we use for different player interactions around the world. Hi everyone, my name is Nathan. I'm a technical designer on Call of the Wild the Angler. Today I wanted to talk to you about our fish spawning system and how it works. We'll discuss a little of how it come to be as well as the information it uses to determine which fish should spawn and where. This is something we steadily built and improved upon throughout the angler's development. And I'm proud to say we're pretty chuffed about everything we've accomplished so far. A little bit of backstory. So, how do you go about populating the water in an area as big as Golden Ridge Reserve? Well, the first approach was to do this by hand. However, it soon turned out that going over every water body to figure out whether a particular fish was appropriate for a lake, pond, or river is just too much work, especially looking at the future with more reserves in mind. Because of this, we turn to a more automated solution. In short, our fish spawning system takes a ton of data from across our entire game world, puts it together, and uses it to automatically spawn fish appropriate to a given water body. Now, when I say automated, I don't mean that we can just take our hands off the wheel and go on autopilot. We still have to tell the system how to interpret the data it finds, which is a constant back and forth, but it makes populating our waters a lot quicker and easier. And because the system is designed and built by our team, we are improving it all the time to make it all more accurate. Okay, so there's a little picture here, which I blew it up here, right here. So let's look at something here. So these different colors um must be like hot zones for most. Like see here in this area, it shows yellow perch, um, trout, rainbow. I see catfish back here, channel. Um, smallmouth bass or small bass, maybe small, maybe a smallmouth. And over here is large bass, more catfish, and so forth. And hook. Okay, this is developer mode. It's obvious. This is why that everything looks horrible in graphics. Um, this is what your fisherman is gonna look like. Look like you're wearing a boots and stuff like a raincoat like thing here. Anyways, now let's look at stuff here. Um, over here looks like where you're is gonna show your your float or lure movement, maybe the distance you cast to the depth. I'm gonna assume that this is drag percent, maybe. I don't know. I'm hopefully that they have a better system of how the game is going to look with the interface. In the image above, we can see one of the many locations a player can fish from. We can view where the fish are swimming in real time, including their species and size. The differently colored squares represent parts of the water with different attributes and slightly different fish spawns. Remember, this is all secret information and it continues to be fine tuned until we get the correct results. Data, data, data. Okay, with that out of the way, what is this ton of data we gather? It's a mix of information that is present in the world and values we infer based on that information as well. As outside factors, we're using over 20 different pieces of data that all interconnect. You've heard of water depth, time of day, and temperature before, but we also look at flow speed, turbidity, and bed vegetation, among other things. Using all this information, we can effectively give each bit of water a grade per fish species, where one location might be perfect for largemouth bass, the temperature is just right, it gets all the food it's looking for, and it all has plenty of vegetation to hunt in. That same location won't work for Kananki salmon. Choosing the correct fish. Having lots of data about our world is great, but matching this up to what our fish actually need is where the magic happens. Jokingly called fish tinder, our system looks at every location to see if the conditions are correct for every fish species. If the grade is good and the minimum conditions are met, a fish can be found in that location. However, that's not all. The better the grade, the bigger the fish that may be around, as this area suits their particular needs very well. A better fit equals bigger fish, maybe even a diamond. Okay, so let's look at this one right here. Okay, this is data. This is based on map. So I'm gonna assume that the red area is where the fish are probably populated, maybe. We can see right here fishes, trout, golden, and gold. This is based on rank, so gold rank for fish. Fishes in this area are the golden trout and the fishes. And on this side over here, we could see that this is based on fish group. So total fish is supposed to be how many fish are in this particular map. Um, Shows you what ranks they are. As for here, I don't know what the ranks actually mean based on numbers. However, we can see that the golden trout has 52 that spawn. Lake trout is 12, and rainbow trout is 11. So yeah, we can see how many fish spawn. So maybe this is based on how much fish is in that particular area. Like here, you can see it's like really highlighted red. That must mean where the fish are spawned at. With so much information, we need multiple tools to help us provide a clear picture of what's going on. In the image above, you can see two such tools. On the left is our data map, which can show us very accurately where we can find specific fish of a specific rank. On the right, you can see our fish counter. It shows us the total number of fish and breaks them down per species and rank. What the future may hold. Of course, no system is flawless, so we're looking to continuously improve our fish spawning and make the results more and more true to life. Like the angler itself, it's an ongoing project and will evolve where the game needs to go. I'm curious to see if you, the community, can find your favorite fish around the reserve. Okay, so that's pretty much everything to know about the angler. Now, again, the game comes out August 31st on Steam and Epic Games. Way it sounds, the game is going to be 29 US dollars. That is unconfirmed so far, but so far a lot of people in the community has said that same price. So I'm gonna assume it's that much. Um, and then maybe on probably next year that it will be out on consoles as well. Anyways, that is everything. We will be doing some streams of this game um, as of August 31st or September 1st. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys did, make sure you hit that like button. You guys to subscribe as well. I thank you for support. I thank you all for watching. Now I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.